iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Got a couple of things I want to talk about today. First, I'll talk about something in baseball, and then, of course, I'll talk a little fantasy football. We'll cover as much as we possibly can. So, first of all, I want to tell you guys a story. And I love these stories. I may even talk about it on the radio tomorrow, but you're going to get the first thing you hear. So, people talk to me about I'm in a bunch of expert leagues, and some guy wants a trade, and he wants me to give him Jake Lamb. Okay, I get it. You want Jake Lamb? No problem. He also wants Jeff Hoffman for me. And he proceeds to offer me three guys who I have practically zero interest in. I mean, literally zero interest in. I don't want to go through the guys, but I'll just say I have very little interest in them. So he sends me the offer, says, hey, what do you think? I'm like, nah, I really don't like any of these guys. And then he says, well, look, as a third-party reference, some site here does a trade chart. They have both those guys worth more the rest of the season. The trade very close overall. Do I care? Seriously, do I care? Do I wake up in this morning and say, I care what some trade chart says? So without being a jerk, I email the guy back and I write, the only trade chart I care about is the one in my head. I don't look at anybody else's trade chart. I could care less what anybody else says. Well, this website says this is fair. Yeah? And does this website win leagues like I do? Does this website have a track record like Dr. Roto? Now, I'm not saying that I'm all perfect. I'm far from it. Just ask Mrs. Roto. But I know what I like and I know what I don't like. And I don't need some chart ranking players telling me what's good value and what's not. And I say that to you. Somebody makes you an offer. You know if you like it or not. I like the visceral response. What do I mean by that? I look at the trade, I look at the offer, and I'm like, yeah, this is reasonable. Or, oh man, really? Or, does this guy think I'm an idiot? I mean, there's a lot of varieties here. Or, oh my God, I got to do this one right now. Most of the time, though, I get disgusting trade offers, as we all do. I mean, really? Do I want Carlos Santana or Carlos Gonzalez and AJ Ramos for Jake Lamb? I wouldn't trade Jake Lamb for four guys. Seriously. And what I hate about baseball guys, and I really hate this, I do. Baseball guys are always about regression to the mean. So here's what I mean by that. If they projected Jake Lamb to have 25 home runs and he has 16 now, do you know what they said? Well, he's only going to have 9 more home runs. Who said? Who said that Jake Lamb was going to have 9 more home runs? That's what you said. You know what I said? I said Jake Lamb was going to have 35. So if he has 16 now, you know what that means? I get 19 more. That's what I think. So what I want you guys to do is think about your trade value. And this happens even on Scout Fantasy in the leagues, where the dynasty leagues. Well, I did the draft chart, the trade calendar thing. You know what I've decided? I really want to say this. I've decided I hate trading leagues. I despise them. I'm in mixed labor, and I'm telling you right now, and I know I'm not, this is going to sound like sour grapes from Dr. Roto. There are some trades that have totally affected this league this year. Bad trades that I would never have done. You know what? I've decided I don't like trading leagues. I don't. I like people. I like other owners. I like chatting with other owners. But when you get trades in there that affect the league, that's a problem. So you know what? Don't insult me. I won't insult you. Don't make a trade. We'll just pick up guys during the year. Let the best team win. How about that? How about that? Don't tell me about some trade chart that I could care less about. You know what that trade chart tells me? Nothing. If I have a question, and it's funny you should mention that about this trade chart. Well, I mentioned that. So I'm with Adam Ronis this morning, and I read him this trade offer. He goes, I would never do that. Of course not. Because Adam Ronis knows better. I know better. Do you think I need some trade chart to tell me who to trade and who not to trade? Seriously, I'm getting myself hyped up over this. I hate these trade charts. And the truth of the matter is this, and I'm going to bring this up maybe ad nauseum between now and the end of football season. There are a million people out there who will tell you what to do. Sadly, 98% of those people are going to be wrong. I try to surround myself with people who are right. Scott Atkins, Adam Ronis, Sean Childs, Mark Deming, Ian Ritchie, Joe Jefferson, Dr. Roto. We're right more than we're not. People who play in the FFWC are right. Be with the right guys. Be with the right team. Be with Scout Fantasy. You'll end up winning way more than not. And you won't need a trade chart. Trust me, you won't need it. What a joke. Speaking of jokes, seriously, speaking of jokes, when I see the New York Jets giving up on Eric Decker, and then he goes to Tennessee, doesn't it make you wonder what the heck is going on in the Jets organization? So Decker is a Nashville resident, and now he goes home. How good for him? How good for him? Now, I'm going to give you my early Eric Decker projection. I think he's going to have about 70 catches, 900 to 950 yards, 7 to 8 touchdowns. Still a wide receiver 3 to me. Not a good receiver, not great. I'd much rather him as my number 4, not my number 3. Much prefer him as my number 4. But I really like what Tennessee's doing here. This team is not only good, it's deep. Listen up. Marcus Mariota, quarterback. DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry, 2 good running backs. Decker, Rashard Matthews, Corey Davis, Tywan Taylor, 4 good receivers. Delaney Walker, Jonnu Smith, 2 good tight ends. Something is happening in Tennessee, and it's pretty good. Now, do I think they need to work on their defense? A little bit. I think next year's draft, I think the offense is kind of set. Right? You got a good young quarterback, you got a great young running back, you've got a good tight end, you got a good receivers here. Corey Davis and Tywan Taylor are going to be excellent players, and now you got to go work on the defense. You added Dory Jackson, but you got to replace Arakpo, you got to replace Derek Morgan. You added Logan Ryan in the offseason to help you. That's good, but he's not great. You need more of a pass rush. Jarrell Casey's a good player, not amazing. You need impact defensive players. And when that happens, this team will take off. I think this team has a chance to make the playoffs now. But they have a chance for a deep, deep run in a year or two. Really do. They're building something good there. Now, I want to get back to Eric Decker. How does this trade help the fantasy prospects of the Titans? First of all, I think it solidifies Marcus Mariota. I think Marcus Mariota is absolutely a starting quarterback in fantasy and arguably top 10. Arguably. Right? Because now he has more weapons. And with Decker, he's got a guy who can run intermediate routes. Next, I don't think it hurts DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry at all. They're going to run the ball, I don't know, at least, I'd say 250 times for Murray, and I would say about 150 times for Henry. That's about right. So I don't think this changes the running game at all. Delanie Walker is not a guy who usually gets tons of catches per game. I still see him maybe with a fewer targets, but maybe I'd say about 55 to 60 catches. So that's a little bit down, right, from his norm, but I don't think a lot. In 2016, he had 65. He won't have 94 again. I think he's in that 60 to 65 range. Rishard Matthews. Matthews is not a bulk guy. Look at his numbers last year. 3-4, 3-2, 4-3, 4-4, 6-3, 3-1, 4-3. I mean, that's what he does. So he's going to be just fine getting, 60 catches. I think this may lower Corey Davis just a little bit. Maybe Corey Davis is only getting 35 to 40 catches. I think Taywan Taylor's only getting maybe 25 to 30 catches, right? And then I think you're looking at Decker in that 65 to 70 range. So Decker will have the most, then Matthews, and then the rookies. So does this downgrade anybody? I don't think there's a star receiver. Not this year. Maybe Corey Davis will be a star in a year, but I don't think there's that star receiver this year. Would I draft Rishard Matthews? Yes, as a fifth wide receiver. Would I draft Corey Davis? Yes, but more in a dynasty league than a redraft league. I don't really love him in the redraft league. I think he'd be a very late receiver for me. I don't think he sees the field as much as people think, unless there's an injury to DeMarco Murray, because this team wants to run the football. The Titans want to run the football. And because of that, it's going to make their throwing better. It's going to make Mariota better. I love what this does. I also like the signing of Decker in that it says to the fans, we're trying to win. We think we're a good team now. We think we have a legitimate chance to make a difference here. We're going out and getting Eric Decker to improve our team. I love that message. Whereas the Jets' message is, we're getting rid of Eric Decker, we're trying to downsize, we suck. Which would you rather be a fan for? I don't know, I say that as I'm wearing my Tennessee Titans hat right now as I'm doing this podcast. I think it's a great time to be a Titans fan. And how about the city of Nashville? You got the Predators, you got the Titans, you got two teams on the rise. Seriously, if the Titans can pull off a Predators type of year, good for them. Good for them. I think there's some good coaching going on here, and I really think there's some good drafting going on here. And that's what I love to see. Speaking of drafting, you know what I really like? How about playffwc.com? I can draft there, maybe not right now, but soon. How about Monday at 9 p.m.? There's a starter draft, full season, 9 spots left. 9 spots left. How about getting in there right now and starting a draft? I think that'd be great. Best payouts. Best payouts. Best customer service. No trades. Nobody's going to screw your league up except you. How cool is that? Nobody's screwing your league up except you. Do a good job, you win. Don't, you lose. It's simple. I love it. I absolutely love it. Right? And you could play at different price points. $35, $99, the online championship, or maybe, just maybe, you want to step up into the fantasy football world championships. Maybe you do. Maybe you want to step up and see if you can play with the big boys. I think that'd be pretty cool. I know I want to see you out in Vegas. You get out to Vegas. You're playing with the big boys. Because you're not going to fly out to Vegas unless you mean business. And whoever wins that, like Kimra, pretty darn good player. But we take all the information. And this is something that separates high-stakes players. And I talk about ripple effects all the time. Eric Decker gets signed. What does this mean to you? Layer 1, good for Decker. Layer 2, hurts Delanie Walker a little bit. Layer 3, hurts Corey Davis a little bit. Layer 4, doesn't really affect the running backs. Layer 5, helps solidify Marcus Mariota. I just gave you 5 layers of one move. You know who thinks that way? high stakes players do. High stakes players think that way. And I want you thinking like a high stakes player. That's how you're going to win money and be my rich friend. You're not going to play it close to the vest. You're going to take the chances that need to be taken, and you're going to actually win leagues because you're going to do the right thing. That's what I believe, that's what I trust, and that's what I want you to do. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. I'm excited about tomorrow. Tomorrow, my podcast, the FSTA Fantasy Football Draft tonight is in New York City. I'm going to look at that draft very closely, and discuss it, how it affects high stakes. Because you're going to see experts versus high stakes players. And there's a monumental difference. Monumental difference. And we'll go through it right here. Want to be part of what we do? Check out scoutfantasy.com. Enter the promo code ROTO, that's ROTO. You pay for 1 month, we'll get you 2 more for free. Be part of the Scout Army, and you'll be a winner. All right, guys, wishing you a great day. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!